Hey, I'm out of breath. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. How y'all doing? Okay, breathe. Today, I am doing a get ready with me because I have a pop-up shop tomorrow. So I'm gonna show y'all, this is the entrepreneur vlog, same thing. This is an entrepreneur vlog. I'm about to show y'all how I get ready for my pop-up shops, and then after today I'm going to record the pop-up shop tomorrow. So I'm gonna show you how I set up for the pop-up shop and stuff like that, things of that nature. So if you're an entrepreneur and you would like to know more about how to get ready for pop-up shops, how to apply for a pop-up shop, just keep watching for some more entrepreneurship tips and experiences. Hello. All right, so a lot of the times when I have my candles sitting in boxes because I'm constantly moving them around, they get dirty. It gets like these little like finger marks and wax marks all over the container. So I like to continuously wipe down my jars every time I'm going to have a pop-up shop or before I'm going to sell a candle to make sure they have a nice display. I want them to look nice at all times. So that's what I'm going to do first. Alright, so I put these to the side because these are missing side labels. This is missing a top label and a side label. So that just lets me know what labels I need to make. So I'm actually going to write that down because my printer is upstairs. So when I get upstairs, I don't have to keep going up and down. So I'm finally in my office. What I'm going to do right now is print out some labels. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. I use Avery. Avery is a website where you are able to create your own labels for any type of product. You can either do one of two things. One, you can buy the actual blank labels and print out your logo with the label that you created, or two, you can buy it from Avery. You create your label, you create your shape, you choose what type of label you need, and they will ship it to you. All right, so I felt like this was a little bit confusing, so I just wanted to further explain. You can either get your labels from Avery in one or two ways. One way is you can buy the templates blank from the store, customize your design on their website, and print out your labels at home. Or two, you can customize your design on their website and have Avery print out your labels where you will have to pay them. I save a lot of money by buying the labels myself and printing them out at home. This is how the sheet looks. Specific sheet has 12 labels on them, and so I can print 12 labels at a time with this specific style. You can get different types of styles of labels. This is my smallest labels. These are for my sprays. They're little circles like this right here. They have so many different shapes and sizes. You can find these at different stores. I usually get mine from Staples, Office Depot, or Walmart. You can also get them on Amazon. Office Depot, Office Max does do price match. So if you find these labels for cheaper on the Walmart website or on Amazon's website, you can go to Office Depot and get them for that same price. I like Office Depot because they're always in stock there. And so I'd rather just go there and get my price match than go to Walmart and it's out of stock. But you can always check your Walmart app or website to see if it's in stock. So for me, I already have tons of labels made here on Avery's website. So you will create a profile and then you'll go to projects. And once you get to projects, you can create a new project, which is right here. And once you create a new project, you are going to enter your product or template number, and that's going to be whatever type of label you're getting. Y'all, I just wanted to add that to find your template number, it's going to be on the front of your Avery package for your labels, and it's going to be the number that's I'm just going to go ahead and click on this one since it's right at the top. You click that and then you hit choose design. it shows you all these different designs that they have, and all you have to do is add your information if you don't want to, you know, customize it yourself. So I'm just gonna say select this design, which is blank. So if you wanted to create your own design, what you can do is you'll click on the label right here, and you can do a ton of different things. You can add an image, you can import data mail merge, you can add text, you can change text color, things of that nature. So that's a very good tool to use if you want to create your own labels. It saves you a lot of money, and if you have a printer, you can constantly make new labels without having to wait for them to be shipped. I already have the label that I need made. All I have to do is print it out. So I found it. I'm opening my project, and it's already on the label size that I need. Let me make sure, because sometimes I change the label size if I'm ran out of a specific label size. And so if it is on the wrong label size, which it actually is, what I do is I change the template number to the template number that I need. And the one I need is 22807. So you just type 22807 in, it comes up, and then you select that template, and then it changes the template for you but keeps the design. All right, so here's a little trick that I use to save my label. So this specific scent that I'm using, or this specific product, if you have a different type of product, I don't make that much of. And so if I print out this entire sheet, it's going to print 12 labels of this scent exactly. And so if you don't need that many labels because you're only labeling one thing and you want to save other blank labels for other products that you might use more often. So what I do is all your labels are going to come on a sheet of 12 for this specific template. And so the same design is going to repeat itself 12 times. So what I like to do, since I only need one of these, and to save me some labels, some blank labels, I go in and delete each one of these designs and keep one and just print one out on the page so that I have 11 other blank labels, and I'm able to reuse my blank labels for something else. So you want to go ahead and press preview and print. And so once you see the preview and print, it's going to show you how it's going to print out on your label sheet. So only one label is going to print out on that whole entire sheet. And what you want to do is press print it yourself. And if you press let us print it for you, they'll go ahead and charge you, and they'll ship it to you. You want to get the PDF version. Y'all, this is so crazy. While I was doing this, I just found out something else, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So it says print all, which is all the labels. I hope you can see that it says print all. And so like if I had all these labels covered with the logo, it would print all of them. But you can also press print custom selection down here and choose which labels you want to print. So if you have the whole entire sheet already filled up, you do not have to delete each and every label. You can just do custom selection and choose which labels you want to print. And so if I X out all of these, if I click on these boxes right here, it won't print any of those, and it'll just print that one label that I want to be printed. You learn something new every day. All right, y'all, so I'm about to go ahead and print out the label. You always want to feed one sheet at a time because this type of paper is a little bit thicker than regular printer paper, and you want to face it down. So you want the label part to be facing down, and you want the back of the label to be facing upward. So it's gonna go in the printer like this. All right, and just to show y'all, there is the label. All right, y'all, so we are back downstairs, and so I'm going to go ahead and label the candles that were missing labeled. All right, so everything is labeled correctly. Now I'm about to go ahead and count the inventory and input it in the system. So I do a two-step process, which you don't have to, but it's just easier for me to keep up like that. I basically write down the candle name and how many of them I have and what size I have to keep track of my inventory. And then I go ahead and just input everything in the system based off of what's on the paper. Oh, you know you make me float, float. So I actually use Wix and Square. Wix is what I use for my website, and Square is what I use for my inventory. I take Square so that I'm able to take cards in person at pop-up shops and things of that nature. And so because of that, I can keep track of my inventory using the Square app, and also get payments through the Square app. Now the Square app does require you to, does require a fee. So every time that you get a payment, they will take a percentage out for the app, for using the app. So just keep that in mind when you are using the Square app. So this is what it looks like. Oop, showing y'all my business. Yeah, my business. Don't do that. This one right here. So once you get to the Square app, it has all these different things on the home page, everything that you need, a whole bunch of cool features. So you might want to just go ahead and research it and check that out. So I already have all these items in my store, and then it kind of tells you if something is sold out based off of every time you use this app. So a good thing about the Square app is that it keeps track of your inventory for you when you make payments through it. But if you're receiving payments through other apps such as PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, which I take all of them, you have to go back and manually add those payments in there if you want to keep track of your invoices, and also if you want to keep track of your inventory, which is why I always update it after a pop-up shop, because while I'm talking to people and selling candles, I may forget to manually add an invoice in there for a sale because I'm moving so fast. So what you want to do is, once you go to your items page, you want to create an item at the top right here. And then it's going to ask you for the name of your item. It's going to ask you what category is it in. So if you wanted to add it to a category that you already have, which is, I have 4 different categories: room spray, scented candles, wax melts, and aromatherapy candles. And that's to separate the types of items that I have in my store. You could add it to a category. And so boom, you can go ahead and add options if you wanted to. So because I already have categories in here, it automatically has those categories up there, and you can choose to add those categories to your new item. But these categories don't apply to this new item. So if you wanted to separate it by color, you can go create option. The option set would be whatever category you're separating it by. So it would be color. So this is what it looks like. It would be the option set is, and the display name would be the same unless you choose to change them. So it would be color. And then it's going to ask you what are your color options. So I have red. And then once I'm done putting that, there's another one comes up at the bottom that says add another option. And then I can add yellow, and then press create. So now once you scroll down, it allows you to see what your options are for that specific item, and then you can add your inventory. So I can manage my stock for red right here, and then put stock received and add 3 sage smudge sticks of the color red and save it, and do the same thing for the color yellow and save it. And now my inventory for the sage smudge stick is complete. This app is very detailed. You can add pictures, you can add SKU numbers, you can do all that if you want to, and that's how you add an item. Right now I'm going to just update my inventory for the items that are already on here. So first I'm going to click on the aromatherapy candles right there at the top, and then it already has the scents in there that I have. And so this is what it says my inventory is: 4 in this one and 4 in this one, which is false. At the top, that's the name of the candle. I'm going to click on that number, and it's going to say, did I have stock received? Do I want to do an inventory recount? Do I want to damage it out, say that it was stolen, say that it was lost, or do a restock return? And what I'm going to choose is inventory recount. So right now, based off of the inventory that I have right in front of me, what's in stock for that specific candle is 2 of them. So I'm going to change that number to 2. I'm going to press save. And now my inventory is recounted for that specific candle. You always want to hit save at the top to make sure you save your information so you don't have to go back and do it again. But I have some other candles to do that for, so I'm going to finish doing that. All right, y'all, so I wanted to show you this as well. So I'm already in a category that I have already created. For this specific item, it allows you to create different options to separate different variations of that item. So for this, these are scented candles. They have the options of changing the scent and changing the size. And so I have one specific candle scent and size that's not already on here because I haven't sold it while I've been using this app. So what I'm going to do is add a variation. Once you scroll down after you go through all your options, it says add a variation. I'm going to click add a variation, and it allows me to add a custom variation for scent. And so I scroll down, and at the end it says add an option at the very bottom right here. Okay, so now it's added on there, and I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to, the size variation is the same, but I'm just going to click on that specific size so that it knows that that's what I'm adding in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and click create variation. So what I just did was added a new scent to the scented candle. And so now I can manage the stock for that one as well. All right, y'all, so I finished my inventory. I'm going to be putting everything up in an organized fashion, somewhat organized fashion. I reuse my boxes that I get my candle glasses in to move my candles. It just makes it easier. I'm also a big fan of Ziploc bags. I use my Ziploc bags for transfer as well. Alright, so these are my display stands. They come with legs and they stand up, and each one, the legs start off short and then go higher and higher. You'll see it at the pawn shop tomorrow. But right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to be wiping these display stands off so that they can come off really clean, really shiny. Alcohol. And then I also use Clorox wipes to disinfect. I use this craft show checklist. I got this off of Pinterest. It was free, child. I just print it out so that I can keep track of it every time I have a pop-up shop. And it literally has everything that you would need on here for a pop-up shop. I just focus on the things that I need. If it doesn't apply to me, I ignore it. But the first thing that it says is tent. My tent is upstairs, so I have to go ahead and get that and bring it down here to make sure everything's in one spot so that when I'm ready to go in the morning, just grab everything and go. Right, and the next thing is tables. I use one large table, and all I need is that one table. My table is right here. The next thing, tablecloth. I like to put my display and setup materials inside of my tablecloth to prevent them from scratching so that they can always look pretty good. My chair. Okay, the next thing says my decoration. Sometimes I put flowers, sometimes I light a candle. The next thing is my credit card equipment. Always want to make sure you have that. I use the Square Reader. It's the small little credit card swipe that goes into your phone or iPad, and you plug this in, and then you're able to use credit card or debit card with your Square account on the app. So I always take this with me. So it also says money back box. So that's a box that people usually have if you take a lot of cash. I don't necessarily have a money box. I usually bring my fanny pack to keep my cash in there because you always want change, which is on the supply list. I got my fanny pack. I got my change. You always want to have at least $50 in cash to change out, or at least 100. And then a couple of other things that I also bring with me, just a side note, is some mosquito spray because this pop-up shop is outside. I also bring a hair tie. Usually my hair might be down sometimes and it might get hot. A washcloth in case you gotta pat because it is hot outside. Pens, markers, and a notepad. And so the next thing is business supplies. And the first thing on here is business cards. That's the one thing you never want to leave. Ziploc bag. It says bags. And then it says mailing list sign up and add people to your email list, which means you can constantly remind new potential customers or new customers to come back to your website or to remind them when you're having a pop-up shop. Therefore, they have another opportunity to purchase with you. So always have a mailing list sign up. It's super simple. It just says at the top, join our newsletter. It has a spot for email and name. I have a couple of copies and I just put it on this clipboard. But you can also get people's information on your Square app and they can add an account. And it takes about 5 minutes. They're adding their name, their number, their email address, and then they're saved. And you can go ahead and get their information from the Square account. Price tags. For now, I use this. I created this. I just got this poster board from Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Walmart, whatever. And I just wrote my prices on there for everything that I sell. I also wrote, you know, our website, our Facebook, our Instagram. But then I also have a display page on here where I printed out all of the QR codes for the ways that we accept money. And if they want to pay me with card, all they have to do is hand me their card and I can do it through the Square account. And so that gives them the opportunity to do a quick payment online or to use their card, or I accept cash. So the last thing is other items. And other items include things that will be necessary for you to be comfortable while you're at the pop-up shop because you're gonna be there for a pretty long time. Most pop-up shops last anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. It depends on the pop-up shop and depends on how long you want to stay there. And then also the weather, if it's cold or if it's hot, where you're located, are you able to access food and drinks? And if not, you want to make sure you have a lot of things with you so that you don't have to move too much. Hand sanitizer. I don't usually bring a cooler unless I have a large amount of staff with me, but I'm going to be by myself tomorrow, so I'm just going to use one of those big water bottles that are they called thermal insulated water bottles that stay cold. So I'm just gonna put a lot of ice in one of mine and it's gonna stay cold all day, and then I'll just keep pouring the water in there to keep it cold. That's pretty much all that I need. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I stack everything to make it easy to bring everything to the pop-up shop and easy to bring everything back home. So as you can see, everything is kind of on the floor all over the place because I was just getting everything in one place to make sure I had everything. But now I'm about to condense it and organize it. I got this from Walmart. It has a top that clips on it. It's pretty deep and I can fit a lot of things in there. So majority of my pop-up shop stuff goes straight in there, and the big equipment I just carry to the car by itself. So everything is pretty much stuffed in there. Okay, y'all, so as y'all can see, everything that I need for the pop-up shop is in this one corner. So when I wake up, all I have to do is come down here, grab all of this stuff, put it in the car, and I'm good to go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make some sprays. I'm not going to talk too much while I'm doing that. I'm just adding this to the video so that you guys can see that this is part of me getting ready for the pop-up shop. It is currently 11:49. I started this process at 8 o'clock. So basically it took me 4 hours to get everything prepared. We'll be doing a part 2 of setting up at the pop-up shop for tomorrow. So stay tuned if you want to see how I set up for a pop-up shop, how I get the table looking, how I do interactions with people and things of that nature. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I might turn into a dancer.